everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Blues. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Blues. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Here's the offense, and you got to talk about the guy that they nicknamed Bebe, Charles Demaryius Thomas.
You worry about him catching the ball, but you worry more about what he does after the catch. Big, strong, physical. He makes plays downfield.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Toward the pylon, caught! And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked.
Let's go, baby.
Set. 19. Trying to collect. 2 times.
Hey.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Carson. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Throwing on 1st is Wentz. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. And the numbers there for Demaryius Thomas last time out. 5 catches, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've gone to him early in this one. I sense a theme, one that I expect to continue throughout this contest.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter play here number 11, just outside the top 10 in the league in stopping the run.
And being able to set the tone early in this game, because when you get down to it, it's that sign that we saw in their football facility when we visited with them. The one that said no explosives, no big plays, no chunk plays. That's what they've got to take care of.
It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Here we go. 180.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Double tight, guys, double tight.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 9, Watson.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Powering his way forward. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. On 1st down, Jacobs. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13. Wentz. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Cooper Kupp, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it? To throw it underneath, a short pass like that. But boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. From the 44, Watson. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 41-yard line.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now it's Watson. And that will be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone, but sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that. That's why they're able to get to him on it.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Check 43.
On first down, Watson. And he finds Parker here, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give, right side. Carson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Watson trying to get his guys moving. Now a give, right side. Carson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Watson. And this is caught. It's Parker. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards as they get to reset the sticks. They'll run on first down. Carson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. We have hit halftime. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Check.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They run on 1st down with Jackson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the 1st.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the return will stop right around the 25. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Wentz will try again on second down. That'll be caught by Kupp. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards, a first down.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic. There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Jacobs, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On second down, it's Carson. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From just shy of midfield, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They run it with Carson. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes one extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Jacobs, 99 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Keanu Neal with a safety blitz for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Javon Hargrave there on the stop. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Joey Bosa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action. Now Wentz. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. Wentz now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Running is Jacobs. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
At the 29-yard line.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While the training staff works on him, We'll step aside and be right back. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload that you and I both know. Well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Jacobs now. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step.